Good morning, happy Monday. How are we all? This week, I am going to revisit an old technique called the I am technique. It's a law of assumption technique, and I talked about it way back in October last year. And somebody commented on that video not so long ago, and it made me go back to it and rewatch it. And I promised you in that video that I would come back and I would let you know how I get on with continuing to use this thing. And that reminded me. And so that's what this is. So first of all, I'm going to share with you the old video. I'm going to share the snippets of it that are relevant, that make sense, and that you need to hear. And then I'm going to pop back in at the end and I am going to update you all on how I'm getting on with this technique and what has changed and what has happened in my life because of it. The premise behind the I am statement, and I've talked about this a little bit in the past. I've just recently finished filming a 21-day sort of change your words course, which I will link down below for anybody that's interested in that. And that's all about the power of how the words you speak and the things you think and the things you say all of the time literally rule your entire life. And by changing your words and changing your thoughts and changing your feelings and saying better things, better affirming statements, that's when you start to see things actually change within your physical field of vision, right? Within your physical world. And in that, I talked about a book that I'd read by Neville, and he stated that he had met a couple of women on a beach in Hawaii, I think. And the younger lady, there was a mother and a daughter, and the daughter had suffered from some facial sort of, you know, when you have a stroke or you've got Bell's palsy and your face can droop. She was suffering from something very similar to that. And she was really upset. She didn't know what had caused it. She didn't know why she had it. And Neville basically said to her, you need to say, I am free of this condition. I am healthy. I am healthy. I am healthy. And just continue saying that to yourself. And this young lady took on that. And she basically, no matter what the doctor said to her, no matter what people said to her, no matter what it looked like, she assumed the I am healthy. I am free of this condition. I am healthy. And she kept saying that and believing it and feeling it. And she astounded, by all accounts, she astounded all of the medical professionals because she was able to heal herself from this condition so much quicker and so much easier, and with absolute, like, I think she got back to total normality, which everybody told her just, you know, was not going to happen. And she honestly said that the reason she was able to do that was because she kept saying, I am healthy, I am healthy, and she believed it. And so the I am principle that I've been playing around with is that if what is happening in my world is my perception of things, then by saying I am and whatever comes after that and feeling it and believing it can actually change what you experience in your world, right? And so I was practicing this. I'd heard that some people do it, they'll sit in a restaurant. This is one of the examples that I've read about. People will sit in a restaurant or a coffee shop and they will say something along the lines of, I am the person at the next table, I am the person at the next table, I am the person at the next table. And they will continue to say that until they feel their energy kind of merge with the person at the next table. And then when they get to that state, they'll go, I'm going to turn around. I will turn around, I will turn around, I will turn around. And they have said that actually the person at the next table literally turns around and starts looking, and they look like they're totally like flabbergasted because they don't know what they're looking at. They don't know why they're turning around. It's just that this person that was using this I am technique has actually made them, if you like, turn around. So I thought I'd play around with this. And the example that I have got for you, which actually has worked brilliantly well, I'm amazed, but very happy to tell you my results, is my cat, right? My cat, Elsie. It gets to about, she hates going out. She could so easily be an indoor cat. It's ridiculous. She hates going out. And if I put her out at night, she will like scratch at doors and windows to come back in, and it's just a nightmare. So I've just started leaving her in. But you get to about 5 o'clock at night, 5 o'clock in the morning, and she will start scratching at the curtains and playing up and just generally being a little bit naughty, very mischievous, because she's woke up. She wants everybody else to get up. She doesn't want us all now to be asleep. She wants to be fed. She thinks that we should all get out of bed. And so she literally just like, messes around. And so for the past probably 2 weeks, 10 days to 2 weeks, I have been in the morning when she starts to play up, because she wakes me up regardless, right? So I'm awake. So I started thinking to myself, right, why don't I use this and see if I can use this Neville Goddard I am technique and actually stop her from misbehaving. So she's woke me up as normal, but instead of getting up and like chasing her around the house for 10 minutes and literally waking myself up, having to get out of bed, doing all the things that she wants, going and feeding her, trying to grab her and put her out. Instead, I've been lying in bed, still in my kind of half asleep state, and I've been going, I am Elsie, I am Elsie, I am Elsie. And I will say that for like about 2 minutes or so, and then you kind of know when you've said it enough. It's a weird thing. I can't really explain when or how you know that you've said it enough, but you do. You kind of know when your energy has merged with Elsie's, right? I am Elsie. I'm going to get back on the bed. I will go to sleep. I am Elsie. I'm going to go to sleep. I am Elsie. I'm going to stop misbehaving. I am Elsie. I no longer want to go out. And I've been saying these statements, and I'll do that for about 5 minutes, all up, I guess. And I'll continue saying them and saying them and saying them. So rather than being up for like, 5-10 minutes, out of bed, cold, running around the house, trying to catch this cat who's being mischievous, I'm still lying in bed. I'm still warm. I'm not really waking myself up. It's nice. And I'm just repeating, I am Elsie. I'm going to stop misbehaving. I am Elsie. I'm going back to sleep now. I am Elsie. I'm going to get on the bed and go back to sleep now. And literally every single time, bar one, in the very, very early days of me trying this, Elsie has stopped misbehaving. She has got back on the bed and she has gone to sleep. It's like some kind of miracle. It really is. And I can't explain it. I can't explain it, but it works. And I am amazed by it. Absolutely amazed by it. So the next thing I'm going to try it on is my husband snoring. I'm gonna lie there at night and I'm going to go, I am Steve. I am Steve. I am Steve. I am Steve. Instead of I am Elsie, it's going to be I am Steve. And then once I feel as though my energy has merged with his, I will say, I'm not snoring anymore. My breathing is easy. I do not snore. I've stopped snoring. I'm going to be quiet. And I'm going to see if it works on the snoring as well. And if it does, then this is literally blowing my mind. And it is the best technique I have ever come across. Honest to God, it's changed my world where Elsie's concerned. It's just been amazing. And so I think that perception of, so in my world, if I envisage Elsie as good, if I envisage Elsie as back asleep, then that's what I'm going to experience because it's my experience. And I think that's the whole premise behind it, that if it's my perception, if it's my world, if it's the things that are happening to me and only to me, and I am saying that Elsie is going to stop misbehaving and she's going to go to sleep, then it has to happen because it's my perception. In the case of the woman who healed herself, I am healthy, I am healed, I am healthy, I am healed. And she continued to say that. And in terms of my example with Elsie, I am Elsie, I am not misbehaving, I am Elsie, I'm going to sleep. But the key to this, as far as I can tell, is the feeling. It's like everything with universal laws, right? The feeling of having it, the wish fulfilled, which is another Neville statement, probably one of his most famous ones, the feeling of the wish fulfilled. That is where the magic happens. So you have to truly believe it. You have to match the energy of it. You have to become it. You have to merge your energy, which is where the I am Elsie, I am Elsie, I am Elsie thing comes in. But if you want to do something for yourself, say you want to manifest something, say you want to manifest health, that's where the I am healthy, you're already you, so you don't have to match anybody else in the outer world. You're doing something for yourself. So I am healthy, I am pain-free, I am healthy, I am pain-free. Try it, right? Try it for yourself. Let me know how you get on with this one, because as I say, it's taken me a little bit of a while to get my head around. I love Neville Goddard principles, but this one has been something I really wanted to play around with first before I brought it to you, because I'd read about it and I'd heard about it and I was like, I don't know whether I can get this to work. I don't know whether, in the case of the person on the beach, that's different. I totally got that because that was her and she was saying it about herself. But when I read that you could do this for other things in your life, for things outside of yourself, for other beings, other people in restaurants and cats, I needed to test that because I needed to know that it worked before I brought it to you. And, from my experience, it does. It works. It's amazing. My sleep has changed. And the last couple of nights, Elsie hasn't even woke up because I've gone to bed. Instead of waiting for her to misbehave, I've gone to bed going, I am Elsie, I'm going to sleep the entire night. I am Elsie, I'm going to sleep the entire night. I am Elsie, I'm not getting up till 7:30. And literally, it's working. So I'm going to report back on the snoring, because if I can change that too, then my sleep is amazing and I will no longer come looking haggard and tired. I will be back to sleeping the entire night through, and I am then going to use this for everything. So having watched that, right, I talked two things that I talk about. First of all, we talk about the woman on the beach having the Bell's palsy and the face sort of drooping. And I have actually used this technique on myself for a ailment. I have had sciatica in my hips for the longest time, longest time. Now you think that sciatica is in your back, but it kind of runs, it's a trapped nerve up your hip and it kind of goes into your back. I had the pain, not so much the searing pain in my back, but I had kind of pins and needles down the side of my thighs, and I couldn't sit for long spaces of time. And when I did that video, that was back in October last year, I actually knew that I was going to the UK for Christmas, and I knew that I was going to have to sit on a plane for hours and hours and hours in one seat. And if you've all done long haul, you know what I'm talking about. And I was actually scared about how much pain I was going to be in. And so I used this I am technique, and I kind of was like, I am Jane, I am Jane, I am Jane, I am Jane, I am Jane. And I did that for a few minutes, like I say in the video. And then I went, I am in no pain, I don't have sciatica, my legs are totally healed. And I said this over, and I did this every single day for a long time, until one day I just realized that it had gone. Like literally it had gone. And it didn't dawn on me that this is what I'd been doing, and that by using this technique, that's what I had been actually bringing into my life. It didn't dawn on me until the sciatica had gone. And I did that flight, literally no problem at all, didn't have any pain. Sitting there for that amount of time wasn't a problem, and it was all good. going back to Elsie, my little cat. She is now an indoor cat, right? She stays indoors. She does go out, like she does go out, but she much prefers being indoors. She doesn't like being outside. In the summertime, she goes out more, but literally only to lounge around in the sun and then comes back in at nighttime. She never wakes me up anymore. Literally never. Ever, ever, ever. I can say that with absolute certainty that since I started doing that, since I started using that technique on her, literally, I don't even have to do it anymore. She just doesn't go out. She just does not wake me up. And my night, the other cats, they will wake me up, but they're not like Elsie. They don't like, get up and have me chasing her around the house like that video was talking about. They literally wake me up, tell me they want to go out, I open the door, they go. Elsie never used to do that. I don't mind that, so I'm not going to use it on them because I don't mind just getting up, open the door, they've gone. Even when that's happening now, Elsie never moves. She never moves. She's literally on the bed, asleep the entire time, and only goes out in the morning when I put her out because I know she's probably desperate for a wee, right? Because she's been in for like almost 24 hours. Perfectly, works perfectly. The snoring, that's a little bit harder. The days that I remember to do it and the days that I stay calm and that I am all right with just, saying, I'm Steve, I am Steve, I'm Steve, I do not snore, I do not snore, I do not snore. The days I do that, he stops snoring or I fall asleep, one or the other. Either way, for me, that's a win, right? I've either stopped the snoring and he stopped or I fell asleep anyway, regardless, and it doesn't really matter. Those days, however, that I can't, I just can't. I'm so tired and I'm getting grumpier and grumpier and he's getting louder and louder and I'm just like, oh my God, please stop snoring. Those days, doesn't work quite so well. But I think that's more to do with me and my frame of mind and the energy that I'm coming to this at. Because when I start getting grumpy about the snoring, it gets louder. And that stands to reason, right? You can kind of understand that because it's like everything. When we put attention on a problem or on an issue, then that issue or that problem gets bigger and bigger and bigger. When we take our attention off it, it kind of goes away. And so I feel as though that's how this technique actually works. When we take our attention and make the problem something huge and I'm like, oh my God, the snoring's doing my head in, I cannot sleep, then I've put all my attention on I cannot sleep, that snoring's doing my head in, and so it is an issue. When I use this technique and I'm in the right frame of mind and I'm just like, you know what, it's going to be okay, it's going to work, it's going to work, it's going to work, I believe in those moments that it's going to work, and that's when I think it does. So like I say in that video, I think it really, really, really strongly comes down to your belief in the thing, that you believe with all of your heart that you can do it. I believed I could change Elsie. I believed that I could get rid of my sciatica. I believe sometimes that I can stop Steve snoring, but in those days that it's just too much and it's too loud and I'm too tired and I'm grumpy, I don't believe it, and so it just exacerbates the problem because I've put all my attention onto it. And so I really believe that is the key. So if you're going to use this technique, pick something. My advice is pick something you can believe in, that you can 100% get behind. Try it with that first and then move on and move on and move on. It's like when I talk about manifesting, and I'm going to link the video after this one to a manifesting the small things first, because I actually believe that if you start small with any technique, you build belief. You build belief that you can do it, and so then you can go bigger and you can go bigger and you can go bigger. And I think that is the key to everything. It's the belief that you come behind the technique with. That's what makes it work. That's why that lady healed her Bell's palsy. That's why I believe that I healed my sciatica. That's why Elsie never messes up at night anymore and I get a decent night's sleep. And occasionally I can stop the snoring, but not always, because it's my belief in how or what I'm trying to do that I ultimately think gets you the end result. So this one does work. 100% it works. 100% it works. Try it for yourself. Start small, build up to the bigger things, and let me know how you get on, because I would love to hear your stories. All right, that is it for me for this week, and I will see you next. Bye bye.